Hello and welcome back to another Bomb Bad Battle Report. We've got a fun matchup here today for you, so let's dive right in. So I wanted to get Riff Tamsin back on the table. Last time I did him in more of a separatist style list, so today I wanted him in more of a scoundrel sort of list, which meant his squad kind of built itself. I think Django and Weakways are some of the stronger scoundrels in Riff's era. There's an argument for maybe a Wrecker or something there if you really want that protection bubble. But I kind of preferred Django just for the flexibility and speed that he brings. Putting him in there and thematically makes a bit more sense. But then also on the other side, fitting in a revenge trigger with more diceless displacement with Mando. And then Guarm is Guarm, but he's a 3 cost who can move Weakway, and that lets us take Han and Chewie, who have been kind of outshone by Baze and Chirrut in that flexible scoundrel 5 cost support role, but they can still hit really hard with their attacks. They've got lots of dice and critically very good expertise and a good tree. So a Guarm turn at the wrong time could really hurt us here, but other than that, we've got some tools to do a bunch of different things. We've got revenge, we've got diceless, we've got ways of generating extra attacks, and some force regen and lots of movement. So pretty well rounded. Excited to try more of a scoundrel riff. I talked about Baze and Chirrut. They're actually going to be used in this game on the other side of the table, and that's in a rebel list that for once doesn't have any revenge. So we'll see if we regret that. We've got Leia, Endor Leia, with Luke and Pathfinders, and then the Jin box as is with Bodhi, Baze, and Chirrut. So really this is the I Spy Rebel list. We've got spies for everyone except Leia. That means Luke will have a lot of options with his tactic. We don't have Rebel Commandos, which are obviously hard hitters, but hey, this is just kind of an excuse to put Pathfinders on the table again. We've got Bodhi's Steadfast. Obviously Baze and Chirrut can hit pretty hard. Hopefully they can hit hard with Leia's Coordinated Fire Exposed, maybe chaining some exposes. Start with Leia, allows them to get far enough down their tree that they can get a expose from that, and then second attack will still be exposed. Pathfinders will hit a little bit harder with that expose, but they're still Pathfinders. And really this is just an excuse to put Jin on the table with a bunch of spies, because why not, try it out. So that's the Rebel list.
Alrighty, so the Rebels got first player, and they decided to pick this side of the board. I was thinking because I've got the lower objectives on this side, it's a little easier to defend the home objectives. Kind of having second thoughts after deployment, just this train was more annoying than I thought it would be. And also home objectives, they don't flip as much here in shifting. So yeah, we're playing shifting. I ended up putting the Leia squad over here, and the Jin squad over here. There's a bit more verticality here, so works better for maybe climbing and attacking those objectives from this side. So that was my thinking there. And then for the Scoundrelly boys, I thought, Luke and Pathfinders are a bit more woundy, so I have Mando across from them. And then I've got like Django here to kind of help deal with maybe Bodhi Steadfast or Jin Dashes or Baze and Chirrut Steadfast. And also those units are not super great. I mean, none of the rebels are really great at busting through Steadfast. Now, having Mando on the same side as Coordinated Fire Exposed, that might hurt, but, the alternative is what? Like having Riff and Django over there. So we'll see what happens. Funnily enough, we got Locate the Asset. I know where the asset is. It's with Mando. Ha ha ha. And yeah, let's just go right ahead and start playing here. So, Rebels first. Ooh. Their Shatterpoint. Part of me wants to just get, Jin up the board here and start Leia, get her coordinated fire in the middle of the board, but then she might just get lit up. I'm going to save the Shatterpoint. And instead we get Luke. He's fine and serviceable. So he's going to reposition a spy, and we'll use that to start moving Jin upfield so that she can maybe get a double attack off. And then he's just going to advance, and he'll take cover, grab his hunker, take that objective. So Rebels secure 2, and Scoundrels are going to secure 1 on that opening turn. Scoundrels get Han and Chewie. See, that's exactly why I didn't want to go with Leia and have her get lit up by Han and Chewie there. So they're going to start with an advance. Then there's a question of, do I want to try and do I pay now for a move to go and engage Luke? I don't want him to dash away. I don't really care about him getting a disarm. Is Chewie engaged? Or is Chewie engaged? Is Chewie in range? He is not. I'm thinking hopefully I get the wound, and then I can reposition Han over there after. I should get some shoves. But if I'm getting the wound, then I'm going to, you know, refresh the Force anyways. If I don't get the wound, I'll have wished I spent the Force. So Chewie's going to come. He's not going to engage Luke, but he will do the dash up like that. Alrighty. And then we'll start with a shot. So Chewie shooting Luke, 7 dice against 5, I guess, because he doesn't have terrain cover, just a sunker. That's a really good start. That's going to be just a smooth 7 hits. You know, nothing, no big deal. Just 7 hits. And Luke, no big deal. Just 5 blocks. Oh my. Okay, well that'll be 3 damage and a shove. Luke? I mean, maybe he'll survive. I don't like his chances though. I still think he'll probably uh, bite the dust here. But let's see. Yeah, if we shove, he'll still be in range. So shove him back, and then shove Chewie forward to better secure that objective. Then Han will go ahead and take a shot. So 7 dice there as well. And okay, just 6 hits and a crit. So some nice roll in there. Can Luke? No, he cannot be crazy this time. So only 2 blocks. So that's going to full tree it for Han and Chewie. We'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 damage, double shove, pin strain. So first shove, follow up, then second shove. Ooh, if I had done this maybe a little bit better. Oh, I think I still did it. Okay. Han will come in here. Um, so we've got our wound. We're going to refresh our force, and we get a heal that isn't doing anything for us. Han is just a little out of range. So yeah, we've got 2 triggers. We have Rift Hampson and we have Boring Conversation Anyway. I'm going to use Boring Conversation Anyway to get that movement on Han rather than just a jump on Riff. Unfortunately, I can't quite. Well, I'll just come backwards. Then, in that case, hit this. I probably could have just advanced here and then shot Luke. We'll say I did that. We'll be nice. We'll say I did that, and then I don't have to use boring conversation. So we're saying when I did the move action, I just hit this ladder because I'm pretty sure that would have worked. Shot Luke from there, and then we will use our thing for riff. Ha 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 ha. Alrighty. I don't think can he get there? Yes. The other good thing about having Riff and Django on this side is they've got the jumps to kind of ignore this building a little bit, which makes our movement easier there. Lovely, save a force, so we're in good shape there. Riff is not going to regen any, but it doesn't matter. So, no revenge triggers. This isn't a revenge rebel list. So, 3 points to start things off. How will the rebels respond? They get Bodhi Rook. Okay, I think I can make that work. Because Bodhi has a spy within 4. So he's going to pay 1. And he's going to dash Jin. And then since she was a spy, he gets to dash himself. And then I probably could have done this a little bit better. We'll say I moved Jin just a little bit more that way, let's say. Then he's going to do an advance. And the reason I'm doing that is so that when he comes up here, he'll sit there, and she will be in his steadfast bubble. Lovely. So he has done one action. Ooh. Yeah, so what we'll say, well, he dashes to here, uses I need an open line, and then he advances up. Okay. Sorry, so many new triggers that I gotta remember. I gotta remember them all. So he comes over here, contests a active objective that no enemy characters are contesting. I don't think the I don't think the separatists will bother spending momentum here. And then he's gonna roll 3 attack dice and get a momentum for every expertise. No expertise. So there we go. And then he comes up here, and then he's got one action left, so he's going to shoot Han with 6 dice, and we'll see what happens. Just looking for that one to get through for the shove. Score 3 and feel a bit better about ourselves. That's not bad. We're looking at 3 hits and 2 crits. 3 hits and 2 crits. Han and Chewie only rolling 4, but they get to block 3. Very good roll from them. So 2 down the tree for Bodhi. Let's do 3 damage and a shove. Okay, that brings it into maybe we can wound the Han and Chewie with like a Leia or even a Pathfinder's sort of thing coming up. So we're going to shove Han, I don't know, back this way. And then we like where Bodhi is. He's just going to hang out here. He'll flip that. Jin will take control of this. Both sides will score 3 and gain a momentum. So we're in that 3-3 zone, but because the Rebels have 2 steadfast units, both of these guys are steadfast right now. That could really help them out. But that's why we brought in Django. So, does Django go after Jin, or does Django go after Bodhi? I think Django goes after Bodhi because by pulling Bodhi away, and then maybe we shoot Jin, or we just try to shoot Bodhi. If we pull Bodhi away, Jin's no longer in the bubble either, so we kind of deal with it twice there. So focus from Django. Then we pay 1 for a jump. I was just holding it. Lol, I'm stupid. Okay, we pay 1 for a jump. Then we pay 1 for a... I won't pay for capture wire, actually. I'll just attack Bodhi, because maybe I'll get a free capture wire. We'll see what will happen. 7 dice, because I focused into Bodhi. That's going to be 2 crits and 4 hits. Very nice. 2 crits, 4 hits. Bodhi's blocking 3, so 3 getting through. We could get a free capture wire, but I think we'll just go for the extra damage here. That's going to be 5 damage with a strain against Bodhi. That feels good. Then we'll get another jump. We got to be careful about our angles here. So Django will jump to here. Then we'll pay that force for a capture wire. This is why we didn't want to get too close to Bodhi. So we pull Bodhi down this way. Is he still contesting? No, that's good. He'll get a pin, and Django will flip that, score 3 again for the Separatists. So Bodhi now much more out of position. It's going to be hard for the Rebels. I mean, maybe a good Baze and Chirrut activation here, but that's a long way for them to go if they want to. And they're not great at double shoving. Well, they do get the Shatterpoint, so maybe it is time for Baze and Chirrut to try to score 4 for the Republic. And by the Republic, I of course mean the Rebellion. Yep, let's go with Baze and Chirrut. They'll refresh 1 force. I don't think they have a good shot at flipping a couple objectives, but worth a try. So Baze going up like that. Cheer it going up this way. Just taking a quick look at, yeah, confirming they don't get any movement in their stances. So I could send Cheered over here if I want to be very aggressive. I think that's too aggressive. We'll just send them to this ladder. We'll pop a couple into Django and at least retake the middle. So Chirrut's going to climb, and Baze is going to take the ladder. They'll flip into their Steadfast. So they were in the ranged stance. I pay one force so they can both dash. Oh, yeah. Since they both dashed, I have to, I can't climb on the dash, of course. So, oops, Cheer It will come like that. And then, yeah, we'll have Baze like that. And then we're hoping to get a shove so that Cheer It can come down. Okay, there we go. So they both hit the ladder. They go to their different levels. And we'll start with Cheer It, 7 dice, because they got their focus, but they've got impact, not sharpshooter, so 7 dice into Django. That is gonna, there we go. Well, 2 crits, 2 hits. We'll get the 2 crits through. I assume he blocks the 2 hits, just barely. Ooh, not a great roll from Django. That'll be 3 damage and the shove. We could maybe get him down there. We'll do this to keep him engaged with Baze, so we have a bigger attack. And then Cheer It follows up the shove down there. And then nice 8 dice attack in melee now into Django again. That's going to be a crit and 4 hits. Would have been nice to get an expose on Django. Crit and 4 hits. He blocks all the hits, so just a crit. So just 2 damage. Not great. It's going to be a lot easier for the Separatists to retake this objective now and keep the 3-3 train going. But we're starting to put some damage on people, so we'll see how that goes. Score 3, both teams get a momentum. Alrighty. Separatists, Gwarm! Gwarm. He's not very dynamic. That's the problem. So we really like how this 3-3 is going, and Gwarm can't flip us an objective, and then we might fall behind. This is red now. So I think the play here is definitely reserve Gwarm. Hopefully, if, like, let's say Leia comes and takes this objective, we just come shoot her off in the future. So instead of Gwarm, we get Weak Weight Pirates. I think that can work for us. They'll trigger Riff. Unfortunately, not getting any extra attacks from Riff, but is what it is. They're not great at shoving, but we'll start by paying a force so that they can both climb. Raiding party. So one one comes up there, one comes up there, probably cheating a little, but we'll say he made it. If we want to be really bold, we send one after Jin, but again, we like this 3-3, so we're just going to send one guy up there and one guy up there, because not only does this mean we body the objective, but it also means we get our Pack Hunter dice. Alrighty. So we're looking at 2 8 dice attacks. Let's start by this guy punching Baze. That is okay. Wow, these scoundrels are cooking today. My goodness. That's 9 hits, thanks to their expertise. Okay. Baze gets 4 blocks and a dash, so still full tree. From the weak weight, we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 damage. Double shove, so one of those will get past Steadfast. And we're going to heal one. We're going to pin Baze, and then he dashes it off. And we're going to heal one from Django. So, absolutely fantastic roll there. Oh boy, that is not what the Republic. That is not what the Rebels wanted to see. So first shove, this guy will just follow up. And then second shove gets past the steadfast. So we'll bonk him down there. And then this guy will punch cheer it with 8 dice again. That's worse, but I see some crits in there. So 3 hits and 2 crits. Can they block the 3 hits and live? They can. So just 2 crits is going to be 3 damage. No, that kills them still, actually. Sorry, I was thinking they only had 5. No, they're dead. They were at 6. So, yeah, Wounded Baze and Chirrut is not good here for the Rebels, especially because Baze and Chirrut still have to activate. And once they activate, then they'll be ripe pickings for getting wounded again, potentially. He does get that dash. No, he doesn't. Sorry. My apologies. I thought he did, and then I looked back at the dice and he didn't. So, that's a wound. That's a big momentum here for the Separatists. They're not really Separatists, I guess. Scoundrels. And you know what? The way this is going, I might want to keep Riff on an objective here. So he's just going to jump like that after the combat action by a Scoundrel. So that's all very good. They flip this back for the Scoundrels and score 3. How are the Rebels going to break out of this deadlock? Leia! I don't think she's going to bust them out, but I think she's a decent shout. Is there a world? Move up. I'm trying to see if there's a world where she can like come up here, punch Chewie's lights out, and somehow get to that back objective. Not really. Not really. The ingress points, by the way, there's one on this train. This one, of course, that we've used, and then some ingress points here, here, here. Nothing over here, so it's not like Mando could just come and block her there. But I don't think she's going to get enough movement unless we really get lucky with her tree. Well, I think I don't, because of our weird deployment, well, actually, even in a normal deployment, I don't think a single advance would do it. So we'll just start getting a Pathfinder up the table, and, onto a back objective isn't bad. So that's our tactic move. We're going to flip into stealth mission. We do have explosive charge if we really need it, but she doesn't refresh force like our man boss does. So she's going to advance down there with her first action, pay 1 for defensive maneuver. She's going to lose the hunker. And we'll see if we can push a wound through on Han and Chewie here. Because, we could play for the double shove. I mean, if we flub the roll, we'll double shove. But hopefully we can get the wound. We'll see. Her attacks can be kind of inconsistent. 7 dice. No coordinated fires, so yeah. So that's going to be 6 hits. Okay. That's going to be, oh my, 3 blocks. Okay. That was a lot of expertise. And a reposition. Because they got their 4 expertise for Han and Chewie, so they get a reposition. So only 3 getting through. So even if I do the double shove, they reposition back onto the objective. So this is a lost struggle. That's going to be, we'll just do 4 damage with a strain, pin, disarm, and then they'll get rid of the pin right away. So the Rebels score 2, they get a momentum. This is just going to be a setup turn for the Scoundrels here. So I think that means, why not Guarm time? We know the middle's not going to be active, so he'll tell one of his buddy Weak Way to come down here. Oh, just double checking actually in case I forgot a force regen. No, Riff was back here when the guys got wounded, so yeah. He wasn't in range 4 at the time. Okie dokie. So Guarm does that, then he'll at least just climb and kind of protect this objective. And then he should have a range 5 shot. Yep, oops. Range 5 shot at Leia. Just 5 dice though, because he didn't have time for, or didn't have actions for a focus. That's a really great roll, though. That's four crits. Man, oh man, these scoundrels are cooking. Leia will probably do something about one of the crits. Yeah, she gets rid of one of the crits with her defense, but three still get through. Let's do a pin. No, let's shove her off that objective. That gives us better. Oh, but we only get one shove because the two shoves aren't connected on Guarm. And one shove will probably be enough. So we'll do 4 damage, pin shove. Shove also gets her away from the middle of the board, where she will, use her coordinated fire tricks. Oh, wait, no. Don't measure from Chewie. Measure from Gorm. There we go. Okay. There we go. Scoundrels score their 3, and that will be it for Struggle 1. Alrighty, really quick. Struggle 1 there. Very important Struggle 1 in shifting. We'll see now if the Rebels can claw it back. See them in a moment for Struggle 2. Alrighty, for Struggle 2 we got We've Been Double Crossed. So I could have picked here, here, and here for the Rebels, where it would have been one tied and then one each. Instead, I went here, 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 and here, which is one each and one with no one. My thinking was that, either way, so the Scoundrels have both their primaries left plus their Shatterpoint. So one of the primaries will maybe have a tricky time getting to the far objectives either way, but having more stuff in this zone, kind of on the where the separatists or the scoundrels are a bit stronger, I think, didn't feel great. So we're going with this because like Han and Chewie are almost dead. Sure, Mando can repo back here, but I think I'm okay with this arrangement. I'll roll the double here in a second. And also because Jin, who we just drew, she's extremely mobile, so she could get here or something, versus just sitting on an objective. And what did we get? We got expertise. That's good. That's the one um, back here. I thought I had a guy here, but no, I don't. No, I don't. Oh, because it was Luke who was sitting here and contesting it at the start of the game. Well, maybe I don't like this as much as I thought. Maybe I should have taken the other one. No, this is fine. This is fine. We're going to tell a Pathfinder to come on over this way. So they'll come up here. They'll sit there just to be a little harder to shove away. And then, so that's Jin's tactic. And then we could just try to dive this objective. Mando could come and just shove us away. But like Pathfinders can easily take that objective if need be. Otherwise, we go up and we shoot there. She is only range 4. Yeah, I'll go up this way because at least then I'm still in the Bodhi zone. And as I say, Pathfinders could actually just go take that objective right now. So should we start by punching? If we punch this guy, get some shoves, then we do a dash, then we do an advance. Yeah, that seems reasonable. So first action, well, first we're going to swap over to aggravated assault and do 7 dice into this weak way pirate. Not, oh, man, that's a lot of fails. Okay, so we're looking at 2 crits and 2 hits. Not ideal. They block the 2 hits, so just 2 crits getting through. Let's do 3 damage and a shove, just in case I need the extra distance. So, shove, shove. Then Jin is going to do a dash from, I forget what it's called, I Rebel. So she'll come over this way, staying outside too. And then for her second action, she will dive this way. Not ideal, not a great way to start, but we might be able to get stuck into that 3-3. We'll see. So, score in 3. The Rebels take 2 objectives, and the Scoundrels take 1. They're going to respond. They are running low on force here. Mando! Okay, so Mando is fine. We won't bother reserving him. He's going to flip into Bring You In Warm, I think. Assuming. Yeah. We'll move up here. We'll get within range of Jin. We'll start by punching her, and then if she decides to come back... Oh, we should see what the double is. The double is block, which puts us... that is the one that they control. That's Chewie's. If Jin comes back, then we'll use Clan of 2 on her, which leaves us with no force, but we'll see how that goes. Punching Jin, that's not great. We're just looking at a crit and 3 hits. Crit and 3 hits, she's rolling 5. She blocks 3 and gets a dash, so just a crit, which is a damage and a shove, but she ignores the shove because of Bodhi's steadfast. And then I think whatever I do, so if I come over here, then Mando is able to pay 1. Do I bother paying 1? Or do I just take the 2 points right now and start to farm momentum? Yeah, I think I do that. I think I just let that be that. Score my 2 and hope that I can kind of farm a little bit of momentum because I've still got Rift coming up. I've still got the Shatterpoint. It would be nice to save a force. Okay. Score 2, gain a momentum for the Scoundrels. The double, going back to expertise, that's going to be this Pathfinder objective. So this is going to be a spot where the Rebels try to score 4. Baze and Chirrut. I'm going to reserve them because if I activate them now, maybe Rift comes and murders them. Though if they wake up, that's less dice for Rift. But I don't want them to die and get removed from the table too quickly. So instead then I would get Pathfinders. And that's fine. They light up Chewie. Mando can't do much in revenge. And we score 4. Yeah, we'll do that. So they'll start by losing their Hunker. Now, do they already have range on Chewie? They do not. And is Mando's thing once per turn? It is not. Very interesting. Very interesting. But he's not in range of Django. So we're going to start. Leia's outside range there. Weak ways don't have any damage on him. Alrighty. We'll start with some moves from these Pathfinders. This one's going to move up here. And this other one's going to take his place over here. Alrighty. And we'll start her shooting Chewie. And I'm thinking we don't use the coordinated fire because they've kind of bad expertise, and that opens up coordinated fire against the weak way for our second shot. So no coordinated fire. Unless, do we want to shoot weak way or do we want to try and shoot Django with our second attack? Shooting Django without coordinated fire is probably a fool's errand. So we'll just go after Chewie here for now. 6 dice. Not good. That's half fails. 4 blocks. Or sorry, 4 hits. Chewie. 2 blocks. So 2 get through. That should be enough. because we get 3 damage with that, and that will get the wound. I probably could have done this better to get like Luke rerolls, because I don't really. I'm saving Force, but I don't really need the Force now that I'm looking at it with Baze and Chirrut coming up. But oh well, oh well. We got the thing there at least. Our next attack could have been more impactful, but oh well. Uh, Mando has nobody to heal. And I think he's just going to stay where he's at. He'll move up slightly and remove the strain from Han and Chewie and give. Does Django, is he engaged? Yeah, so no hunkers for anybody. So not a super impactful revenge trigger. And then this guy's now free to shoot this weak way, and we'll use coordinated fire from Leia to expose them. So 6 dice. Hey, don't need a reroll there. That's a great roll. 7. 6 hits and a crit. Great expose. 3 expertise go away. So full treeing from the Pathfinders into that weak way. Okay, that went very nice. We're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 damage with a pin strain. And we get a reposition. Ooh. Is there anywhere we want to reposition to? Not really. We'll just come onto the other side of Chewie. So we take control of that. The Rebels already control this. I think I put that the wrong way around. They'll score 4. And Separatists, it's a block, so it's over there. We'll see if they actually want to contest the struggle or not. Riff. Riff's definitely not flipping that. I think we're just going to give up on this struggle, in which case we want to put some damage in on maybe, I don't know, nuking Jin here. We save our Shatterpoint to start struggle 3, which seems strong. We just walk up, hit Jin. Is there an objective we would prefer to be at instead? Because we're going to get a plus, or we could get that. Or we could get that. So having someone back here is honestly not terrible, but we want Rift Central so that he can be following up attacks. So he's going to advance down to here. Then we're gonna punch Jin, and within range 4, we have I guess just one wounded unit, because Bodhi is not actually wounded yet, and Luke's all the way over there. So, yeah, just punch. We'll stay in Savagery for this attack, and that'll be... do we stay in Savagery, or do we go to Cruelty? I think we go to Cruelty because we can get some heals, but also a jump up to here, and that's going to give us a really solid chokehold on the middle, and the middle's 2/3 chance that it's going to be active. So 6 dice up to 7 because of the wounded guys nearby. Into Jin, that's going to be 2 crits and 5 hits. Yep, 2 crits, 5 hits, so 7 results. She is blocking just 2 and getting a dash. So 5 down the tree. So we're going to do 5 damage with a strain, a couple shoves, and a bunch of heals and a jump. Oh, Jin was already at 1 damage, so she's at 6 with a strain. She cannot afford... Oh, she's been forgetting to gain to do her healing, though, when the opponent gained momentum. So we'll say she healed her 1 off last turn, along with Bodhi's strain. She probably would have healed Bodhi's pin and strain last turn, actually. Yeah, I've been forgetting that part of her identity, so my apologies. Because she was within 2 of Bodhi. The Separatists gained a momentum last turn, so she would have healed Bodhi's pin and strain. Okay, so now she's at 6 with a strain, though, so she can't dash or she'll die. We don't want that to happen. Riff gets a jump, so he's going to come up here. He's also getting... so he jumps, and then he's going to shove her. So we'll get her, oops, out of the way here a little bit. Very hard to, oh yeah, there we go. And shove her, and then shove her again. In there, we're doing this a little out of order. We got some heals. The first heal was before the jump, so we would have healed the weak ways, the conditions off, and then we can either heal weak ways or Django on our second two heals. Let's heal the weak ways, because having support bodies up is handy. So they go from 6 with a couple of conditions down to 4. That's not too bad. We also have hit and run if we really want to, um, but I think we're okay. We'll just save that force for our Shatterpoint, and we're feeling good. We're scoring 0. We gain a momentum, though, and that does mean Jin will heal 1 damage and her strain off of herself. So that opens up some plays for her now. The double doesn't matter too much. This is a setup turn. It's fail. Fail is this objective down here. We could have tried to, we could have left Riff here to take this objective. It wouldn't have really mattered. Better to get him central, I say. So, now we've got Baze and Chirrut. Well, they're going to refresh 2 force because they don't have any conditions they have to remove. And this is the thing. Now I have way too much force. But oh well. So the thing I like about running Baze and Chirrut with Bodhi is that now I could switch back into my ranged stance, and Bodhi will still be around to give me steadfast. So that's kind of handy. Or I could just sit here, focus, and punch. And if I'm going for damage, that might be the way to go. Do I try to kill weak ways? I think not. So my thinking is, if I kill weak ways are a pretty juicy Shatterpoint target for the Scoundrels because they can do some good attacks, make Rift jump, etc., etc. Um, so instead of that, maybe I attack Riff a couple times, flip, move, attack Riff. Yeah, I don't have. I could coordinate fire. Ooh, did Riff move into coordinated fire range? Looks like he did. That was a mistake. We're going to start by we'll flip into our ranged defense stance and then pay 2 to dash both of these guys. And they get their focus, of course. So Baze is going to come over and sit on this objective. Thank you. He'll just hang out near Bodhi. Chirrut is going to come back this way. And then let's do some shooting. So let's start with a shot from Chirrut into Riff, and we'll use a coordinated fire expose. So 8 dice into Riff. That is going to, I think that was an expertise, but it won't really matter. That's going to be 2 crits and 4 hits. Yeah, 2 crits and 4 hits. Riff is, that one's cocked, but it's a block there. So because of the expose, he's just blocking 2 or 3 instead of all of the hits. So 1 extra hit gets through, but 3 is what we want because then we can re-expose him. So we're going to do a disarm, 3 damage, and an expose, and then we're going to shoot him again. Boom, boom, boom. And the disarm is actually pretty nice too. So that's going to be 2 crits and 3 hits and a pin. And that's really nice because now he's not going to be jumping around causing us trouble. So 2 crits, 3 hits, and a pin. He's blocking nothing because of that expose. So full tree, that'll wound him. So 6 damage, double shove, expose, pin. That will be meaningless momentum for the rebels. That will be... maybe I shouldn't have done that, though, in a sense. Well, yeah, we'll see, because now Mando can... So he's not arranged to heal anyone still. Maybe I should have been a little more aggressive there. But he will come this here, hit the ladder, come here, and then at least he's got flexibility on which way he goes to, and this one might, there's worlds where that one comes up. So he'll go over there. He'll come closer, though, so that he can be within 4 of Riff to remove his pin. So now, at least, if I really want to, Riff could jump and attack somebody. Alrighty. Rebels are going to score a bunch and win struggle 2. So, yeah, and then they'll refresh their deck. The Scoundrels will get to start struggle 3 with a Shatterpoint, so we'll see how that goes. See ya in a moment. Oh, before I draw the next struggle card, I did not do a second action with Baze and Chirrut. So, the intention there would have been to... I would have been thinking to move back here, but you know what? It's probably better to just have a body on the middle. Though then if they Shatterpoint like Weak Way or something, that just gives Riff an easy target to punch. I mean, he's got an easy target, though. He's got an easy target wherever. Where do I want to move my man Chirrut? No, we'll move back here still, and then Baze will sit up there. Okie dokie. Alrighty, now we'll go to the next struggle. Alrighty, welcome back for struggle 3. We've got Commandeer a New Ride. And, you know, this is where I'm feeling good that I moved Mando back here, because now I can choose this spot, and this spot. The alternative was here, here, and here, where the Rebels are controlling 2 of them. This is going to work much better. We are going to see what the double is. It is block, so we're going to definitely control that. We've got 2 alive units there. Part of me says Shatter, so we got our Shatterpoint. Part of me says the Weak Way, but they're already alive. And they're not amazing at double shoving, especially since they probably wouldn't get Pack Hunter or Wolf. Yeah, Pack Hunter. If they both dive that, I'm thinking go for Han and Chewie. The problem is our force might be a little tight, but we're gonna try it. Their attack is pretty good, and it brings back more bodies. So they're gonna ditch their disarm as they wake up, and we're gonna do some moves. So Han is going to, and like, look at all these bodies we've got on the middle. That's the thing. The Rebels have just not been able to quite finish off some of these people. Though maybe they will quickly, but we'll see. We have to make sure Chewie stays not engaged. That's the thing. Oops, without bumping Leia as well. So Chewie will come here, so he's not engaged with Leia or a Pathfinder. So yeah, let's start with Chewie, because if he gets the double shoves, Han can still shoot at Baze, versus if Han shoots Chirrut here, yeah. So, and then if Chewie doesn't, then Han will shoot again. So, but of course we really want that wound so that we can do our follow up. All right, so 6, 7 dice against 6. So Chewie. That is not great, but their expertise is so good. So it's going to be 5 hits. Baze and Chirrut are in their stance where they get an extra defense die at range. They get that cover. So it was 5 hits. They're blocking 4 of them. So, I don't feel good about the wound now. Do I just go for, if I just go for damage, if I go for 2 damage, I don't think I'm wounding them with Han and Chewie either way. And without the double shoves, like, Han's not going to get there. So we'll stick with 2 damage. I have a plan here. And then Han is going to shoot at Baze over here with 7 dice. Oh man, that's a lot of fails. They are flubbing now. That's just going to be a crit and 3 hits, so 4 results. And okay, Chirrut or Baze is just blocking 2 of the 4. So we're going to do 3 more damage and a shove, but no, he's not steadfast. Yeah, because Bodhi only gives him steadfast when they're contesting. But if I shove him away, would I still be in range to come and attack him with Riff? Probably not. So we're not going to shove him away, and then Riff is going to pay our last force. Since we didn't get the kill, we can't pay it to go over there. Well, I mean, yeah, because it costs 2 now. So now Riff is going to jump down here and take a disarmed attack at Vase to see if maybe he can get the finishing touches. And I don't think there's any wounded units nearby. So yeah, just a 5 dice attack. Tough time to be disarmed. That's just going to be 2 hits. And they get 4 natty blocks. So nothing getting through there. At least Riff loses his disarm. 3 points isn't bad, but I was hoping for better there. The Scoundrels are taking this and this, though they have 3 bodies from 3 different units on that objective, and they have Mando on this objective. So that's pretty decent stuff. And if need be, maybe Mando could come over here. So the Rebels get a fail, so that is the one they control. So this might be a setup turn for the Rebels where they just score 2 and try to deal with some of the bodies there. Bodhi Rook. So what would he do? He would shoot and maybe kill Django, or like get a shove on Han. Maybe kill a Weequay. How much? He needs 3 successes to get 4 down the tree, or to get 4 damage, I mean. So maybe kill a Weequay, move Baze up there. That's not super helpful. Could he move Jin? She's a little far away, unfortunately. But maybe I move Jin this way, so that then they can't do funky things with Mando. Yeah, I don't love it, especially with how fragile everything is. I think I need to protect this objective from being taken. So I'm going to reserve Bodhi because I can score 2 here and maybe be all right, but not if the Scoundrels come back and score 4 next turn. Shatterpoint. Oh, now the pressure's on. I think Jin is probably one of the only ways I can actually get Mando off this objective, because she can get double crits pretty easily to get a shove through. Obviously, Mando can take care of one of the crits, but not both. So I'm going to activate Jin, and for the tactic, I think her attack is going to be as good as any. So she's going to make a 5 dice attack into Do I go into Django or do I go into this Weequay? I think I go into the Weequay because if I can get the wound, but if I get the wound, then Mando comes back this way. Oh, that's a problem. Yeah, we don't want that. So we don't want to actually wound someone right now. So we'll just pepper Django with a little bit of love. So 5 dice into Django. That 2 crits for her at range. So she'll turn or 2 expertise, I should say. She'll turn that hit to a crit. So double crit. Doesn't matter what Django rolls. He's not dealing with it. He blocked 3. 2 crits get through. She's going to do 3 damage with a dis. Ooh, well, I was going to say 3 damage with a disarm. If she gets the shove, I don't think she's shoving Django away from the objective, like off the objective, unfortunately. That would be great if she did. But we'll just do 3 damage with a disarm. And then she's going to get a dash in response to that. Does that get her to the ladder? I think it's just short, so she's going to climb up to here. Yeah, easily. She's got the space. And then she will punch Mando with... she'll flip into resisting arrest. It's only 6 dice, but if she gets just 1 expertise, then we're probably going to get a crit through. So 6 dice into Mando, and I think it's like an 80 something on 6 dice to get at least one expertise. Okay. Wow, that's quite the roll. So she could turn a crit to a hit to a crit if she had a hit. She doesn't, but she'll get 4 crits, 3 natties plus an expertise. So Amando is definitely going to get shoved. He can deal with one of the crits, so 3 crits are getting through. She's going to do a shove, a pin, and 4 damage. So the pin won't matter much on his revenge, but it will certainly matter when he tries to, like, activate, I guess. She gets a dash. She's pretty happy with where she is. She'll come over here a little bit, I guess. And the dash is coming after the attack, obviously. It's that trigger. So we'll flip this. We keep control of that. We're going to score 3, and we're back in that 3-3 zone, but, we got to hope. We got to hope we'll break out of it somehow at some point. Okie dokie. So, what's going to be the double? The double is fail again, so it's back there. Scoundrels can take that, as long as they don't get Guarm. Weak ways! Okay, do we want to go with weak ways, or do we want to reserve them? I think we're fine going with them. It's not ideal, but it's not bad. So, here's what we're going to do. We're going to start with a move action. See if we can save a little force. Start with a move action. This guy's going to come over here. This guy is going to... Do I care about punching versus shooting? I do, insofar as it's easier. Like, the base and chair get less defense when I'm punching. Okay, so we'll start with this. This guy doesn't really have anyone else to shoot at. Oh, he's got Bodhi, though. But I don't really want to, I don't want to wound Bodhi. Do I want to pin Bodhi? No, I'm not going to pin Bodhi without wounding him. So we'll go first with this guy, and then if they're already dead, then maybe this guy can shoot like a Leia or something. Make coordinated fire cost something. Okay, so start with this guy punching Baze with 6 dice. That's gonna be 2 crits and 3 hits. That's gonna be 3 hits blocked, so 2 crits getting through is 3 damage and a shove. Might as well get the shove through. They're only 1 damage away from becoming wounded. So hopefully this next guy can do it. And also we've got Riff if we really need it. 6 dice from the other guy into Chirrut. That's going to be 6 hits. So they are going to go down here. Just 2 blocks. So 4 down the tree. We'll do a pin, 5 damage, double shove. So shove, shove. We're not going to care about the follow up. Pin, 5 damage. So they're going to gain the momentum, and then Jin is going to heal a couple. So from the verge of death, she's now looking a bit better. Then we are going to pay the 1 force. So we get oh darn, we get a force regen, but we had nothing to regen, and then we pay the force for the climb, just because I want this guy to be on the proper elevation, so it's harder for rebels to take this objective. And then this guy comes over here. Okay, so that flips, and 3 more points for the separatists. The rebels are really going to want to score 4. I mean, of course, everyone always wants to score 4. Block is up here, so that's a tough double. So maybe this is one of those turns where we only score 2. Okay. Is Bodhi doing anything useful for us right now? Well, now that Baze and Chirrut are wounded and pinned, I think not. So instead, we'll go with, okay, Pathfinders. Interesting. Interesting. Okay, let's start by paying 1. And they're going to do some dasharoos. So, this lady is going to come over here. Stay out of range of that guy, and stay out of range of Chewie. Very nice. This guy is going to come over here, staying out of range of Chewie. They'll get their hunker. And then let's do some murdering, I think. Maybe this guy should have come back and I put 2 bodies here. That probably would have been the smarter move. Oh well, okay. So this lady's going to shoot this weak way, and that's going to be 6 dice, and we get our reroll because we've got our hunker, so we're getting that reroll from Luke. 6 dice into the weak way, reroll a fail. Oops. Into a fail, so super helpful. 5 hits. We probably should have coordinated fire exposed this shot because this is the one we need. So we'll say we coordinated fire and exposed. So 5 hits, 3 get through. So we might as well do the strain. Yeah, we'll do the strain just in case we don't wound them. Though if we don't wound them, then we're kind of hooped anyway. And then this guy will shoot the weak way up top here. That's okay. We got a couple crits. We might have more than a couple crits. What does 3 expertise give them? A crit and a hit. So we're looking at 3 crits and 1 hit. Okay, so 3 crits get through again. So we'll just do 3 more damage with a shove that will follow up. We get the wound. It's got to follow up the shove to like there, let's say. Mando gets to do something, so he could come up here and kind of protect the middle for the future, or he could come here. I think coming here makes it, if he comes back to this objective, so he's going to heal his damage in a pin, and he's going to come back to this objective, because that will make it easier for the Scoundrels to maybe, I keep saying separatists, but really it's only Riff who's a separatist here. Oh, and Django, I guess. Then they just have to put a body here. Maybe they can score 4 next turn or something. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, we'll go with that. And then move action. This guy will come up here. This lady's going to come over here. They'll lose their hunker. We'll flip this, score 2, and gain a momentum for the Rebels. Not ideal. It's going to be, yeah, we just can't force a dead turn right now. Block is there. The Scoundrels started with too much of an advantage on the middle. Riff. Okay, so Riff. The Riff Raff. We could send Riff over here and just nom nom, but then he's kind of out of it. Or we could send Riff up here. Either way, I'm thinking we're essentially going and trying to. Well, I gotta think. What's the downside here? If I come here and I don't kill Jin, then I still score 3 and I'm feeling okay. If I come here and I don't one-shot the Pathfinders, I'm feeling a lot worse. So let's go after Jin, I think. I can kill Pathfinders pretty good. I'm pretty good at that side of things. Let's get bold. Let's be bold. I'm going to spend 2. I'm flipped into Savagery. I'm going to spend 2 for Death from Below, because that'll add 2 damage, and that'll help me with the one shot. So he's coming up here, and then he's going to come down here, and then I'll be within range of Luke, so I'm going to add an extra die. So 8 dice with 2 extra damage into this Pathfinder. We're going for it. We're going for it. I shouldn't have gone for it. I had it. I had this. Darn it. Darn it. I shouldn't have gone for it. I got greedy. Why did I get greedy? We're looking at a crit and 3 hits. I didn't get a single expertise. A crit and 3 hits. This Pathfinder. Oh my. They're blocking all 3 hits and they're getting a reposition. So just 4 damage from Riff. The Pathfinder will stay where they're at. That was a mistake. I got too confident in what Riff could do for me. I shouldn't have. No points flip, just two for the Scoundrels, okay? And it's a block. It's a block, so it's in the middle again. But if the rebels can flip the middle, and how would they flip the middle? We would kill. If we kill Django, then we have to body block so Mando doesn't get to where he wants to go. So if we just climb with Bodhi, punch and kill Django, then we outnumber Han 2-1, and we score 4, and we really flip the tide of the game. So I think it's Bodhi time, baby. I mean, then we're relying on Bodhi to somehow wound Django, which yeah, maybe that's not gonna happen. Let's actually pay one force. So the reason I'm doing that is it will give us an extra die. So what we're gonna do is Bodhi's gonna come here, come up the ladder. Oh, sorry. First, he's gonna dash the. Oh wait, I don't even need to do that. Sorry, I was thinking that there was space for Mando to come and contest, but there isn't. So what do I need to be worried about then? Even if Mando comes and engages me, I can still take the ladder, come here, and I'm okay. So I'm fine. So yeah, I'll just shoot. I'll just start by shooting Django and not spending the force. I was thinking I had to body block, but I don't. Haha, that's great. Of course, I don't get. I don't get coordinated fire exposed. The alternative is I just shoot. I just shoot Han, and then I only need one success against an exposed Han versus against a Django. And that's probably better. And it still scores me that 4. Okay, we'll start by shooting Han. 6 dice. Um, we're looking at 5 hits, and we use the coordinated fire expose. So yeah, 5 hits. They only have 4 dice, so we should get our 1 through. And they rolled 4 expertise, so that's not helping them. Thanks, Leia. You're doing some good work over there. We're gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 damage with a strain. That's actually wow, Bodhi. Bodhi, my boy. What a guy. Good stuff, Bodhi. Gets the shove, so we'll shove him and knock the ladder down, put the ladder back, move, we could move to the ladder, or we could just climb, perhaps. Yeah, we'll just climb. Cool. Climb up there, flip this objective, score 4. I messed up with Riff. This reminds me of my other game with Riff when I got greedy with Boss into Riff and it didn't work. Now Riff's on the other end. 4 points. That's a good for the Rebels. What's the double? It's the block. Han and Chewie. So here's the chance I would have to take. If I start by shooting, I need to get 2 down their tree in order to get a heal. They're not engaged there. To heal their strain. But if I can do that, then I could potentially kill. If I can kill the Pathfinders, I can use their reposition to get over to here. After the attack with Han, move up here, move Chewie here. Riff takes this. Chewie takes this with Django against Bodhi, and then Han and Mando take this against Jin. I think it's worth the shot. I don't know. I just got so greedy, and it backfired, and now I'm worried. But I can flip all 3 objectives here potentially, and atone for my mistakes. So let's try it. We're going to start actually with a shot into Bodhi, because it's going to be easier to shoot and kill Bodhi, because we only need... yeah. Is it easier to get a shot into Bodhi with 5 dice and worse expertise, or get 2 down the tree versus... I think I'm going to shoot Bodhi. Yeah, I'm going to shoot Bodhi. Okay, so Chewie into Bodhi. 7 dice, and we hope we don't whiff. Let's go. Okay, we've got our 2 crits, so we're going to be good. It's 2 crits, and it's 4 hits. So 6 results. Bodhi's blocking 3, so we're getting 3 down the tree. That's amazing. So that's going to be a shove that he doesn't care about. We're going to heal our strain. We're going to give him a disarm. And we're going to do 3 damage to him, which is exactly what we need to wound him. So 1, 2, 3. He's wounded. We get a momentum. Jin heals a couple. Well, she will in a moment. Technically first. Let's see. We killed Bodhi. Is Bodhi... We get a force refresh from Han and Chewie. They get to heal 1. Is Riff within 4 of Bodhi? He is. So we refresh another force. Then Han is going to shoot that Pathfinder with 7 dice. That's going to be 5 hits and a crit, so 6 results is pretty good. They're blocking just 1, so full tree it. Let's give them 5 damage. They can't get pinned. So actually we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4 damage. So that also gives us 2 more heals. Shove, disarm, strain. So that gets them wounded, because 4 damage is exactly what we needed. And I had the shot there, I had Rift to follow up if I needed it. So they're going to get another momentum. Jin's going to heal her last damage. Now that all the attacks are done, though I guess Rift couldn't have followed up because then I would have 2 triggers, though maybe I could have been okay. Well, I took some chances and they worked out. I'm going to pay 2 force. Oh, then so they should get shoved, and Rift is going to regen another force because the Pathfinders got wounded near him. So we're at full force. That's cool. Then we're going to pay 2. And Han is going to say that was a boring conversation anyway. He's going to come over here. Then they're going to take some move actions. Han comes, takes this ladder. Chewie comes and takes this ladder. That is going to be... Actually, that's 2-0 on that middle objective. 2-1. And 1-0. So we score 4, and that's probably GG here. Fail is the double. As we go to the Rebels' turn. Okay, well, Baze and Chirrut, if anyone could flip a couple objectives, it could be them. How would they do it? I guess we're going to shoot some people, because I think we need double shoves. Like, I don't think anyone's better than Baze and Chirrut for us right now, for actually getting 2 objectives. So we will go with Baze and Chirrut. Our shooty side is better at getting double shoves. So we focus, we shoot, and then maybe flip, pay, get up there. Okay. And then we're going to explode. I don't think this is going to work out, but we'll see. So focus. So we've got 8 dice. We'll start with Chirrut shooting the Shark Man. If this doesn't work, then we're pretty hooped. 8 dice. We will use Coordinated Fire from Leia. That's going to be 4 crits, 3 hits, and a pin. Yeah, 4 crits, 3 hits, and a pin. Can't ask for much more than that. Well, he gets 4 blocks, so really good roll from Riff, but because of the expose, he doesn't affect our crits. So we're going to get that double shove just through crits, so that was very lucky. 1, 2, 3, 4 damage. And then we're going to double up on a pin, so it's going to become 5 damage. And 2 shoves. So we don't really want to shove him into Leia, but we don't want to shove him to be more central either. So I guess we shove him into Leia. I don't like that. Oh well. Oh well. Yeah, shove him into 2 of our guys. We follow up. Doesn't really matter where we're going to end here. So we've got the double at least, so that's good. And then Baze is going to shoot at Mando and hope we get one shove through somehow. I mean, it's a decent attack, but Mando's so good at defending. Hey, there we go. Triple crit, 4 hits. Triple crit and 4 hits. Yep. Mando is going to... Oh, he doesn't roll that great. Only 3 blocks. So 4 down our tree. We're going to... I mean, he can deflect into us if we don't care. We're going to evaporate. We're going to do a disarm and expose and 1, 2, 3, 4 damage and a shove. So we shove him away. We shove him towards. Then we're going to... Doesn't really matter. We flip our stance. Well, we don't even have to flip our stance. We pay 3 force to move action. Boom, boom. Come up here. That's 2 to 1 there. That's 1 to 0 there. And then Baze and Chirrut have been removed from the game because they had 2 injured tokens. So scoring 3, both sides get a momentum. The Scoundrels only have to score 3 or 2 in a wound, and this game is theirs. The double is going to be back here. That seems very easy for them to take, so if they can just walk a body onto it. Guarm, buddy, you're the worst for anything. Okay, we're going to pay 1 to reserve him, because I can't walk Guarm onto there. Shatterpoint, great. Riff will heal and walk there. Score 3. Game over. There we go. Okay, I tried to give it away there for the Scoundrels with the aggressive Riff play, but a big Han and Chewie moment really turned the tides. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm not as high on Han and Chewie as many people, but when they're hitting, when those attacks are hitting, they are beastly for sure. That stuff's really nice. Leia did some work. I wasn't able to get her central enough, unfortunately. I felt like the Republic or the Rebels just kind of lacked some playmaking ability. Jin can certainly do some interesting stuff, so there was that, but it was a little tricky there, especially struggle 1 to get out of that 3-3 zone, which happens in a lot of lists. You know, it's not unique to this game. It's just kind of circumstances sometimes, but yeah, it's certainly you felt it where it's like, okay, they're not super durable and they don't have revenge. That's kind of partly why Rebels, uh, it's revenge is good, but also they kind of need it with how much they can take a pounding. But really fun game, really enjoyed that. MVP of the game, I think we got to give it to Han and Chewie just because I thought I had messed up. Well, I did mess up. The Rebels scored 4, and then Han and Chewie helped flip all 3 objectives in one turn. So how can that not be an MVP performance? Like they did fine outside of that, but like that one turn highlight, legendary moment from them. So really fun. I hope you guys enjoyed as well. Keep an eye out for the next game.